Okay, success. Well, maybe not. All right, am I being punked? What did you do, Tim? All right, I got the outer layer package undone. I think I'm winded.
Well, if you got a dollar, won't just lousy down. Know that I got rhythm that could suit your budget found.
Hey, this is Patrick with Trusty Mercantile, coming to you with an unboxing video. About a year ago, basically kind of as the current pandemic started getting or showing itself as being more serious than we initially had thought, I was locked in my home like many of us were, and I started ordering through YouTube and through Etsy and eBay, and I started doing unboxing videos. And I actually have a whole series of those hidden somewhere on my YouTube page under unboxing videos. And some of them were very interesting because there were a couple of items I opened that, as I opened them live on camera, they were broken. So, you know, not everything can be all that exciting. And I did them for probably about 6 months and pretty much covered as many of the scenarios that I thought would be interesting to record, and haven't really done one in a while. But I wanted to do this one because it just so happened, I'm still buying, it just so happened I received 2 shipments at the same time. One of them from an eBay seller that I had not purchased from before, and one from Tim at Over the Years, who I have purchased from before, but the last time it was a local pickup because I was going to be in his area, and this is the first time I've had him ship. And if anyone does not know Tim from Over the Years, first, pause this video, go over back into YouTube, search for Over the Years, and start following Tim, because he's got some great content. But one of the things that he's done a video on how he packs. He does a lot with glass. He basically sells the ideal stuff of what I try and sell. Perfect condition glass, porcelain, pottery, and he prides himself, quite correctly, on how well it's packed. And he did do an entire packing video kind of showing that. This is the first time I've received a Tim packed package. So, which is special enough, because I know, of course, what's in here because I bought it. He does live sales on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I picked this up during one of his live sales. But what kind of triggered me to do it as a video, to kind of do a live unboxing, is because it showed up at the same time as this. So I'll just kind of start with a little bit of a basic premise. If you look from the side, you can even see this is basically bulging at the seams because it has so much padding and packaging in here. I can't remember exactly what he uses. There's 2 pieces in here, but it's extremely well packaged to the point that you probably can't see it because the camera's not high enough, but the box actually rocks on the table because there's a bulge at the bottom too. So this is very well packaged. On the other hand, this one from eBay, got my microphone's on me, so hear that? You shouldn't hear that because this is a piece of glass. So I'm sure it's going to be okay. I hope it's going to be okay. Again, I don't exactly have the best track record, but it seems like it's padded in there, but it shouldn't be moving around. So, like I said, I'm going to do these both as just live unboxing videos. I'm hoping everything will be fine, but kind of compare and contrast how a specialist in glass would package an item versus someone who, absolutely no disrespect to people who sell myriad items, but someone who may not specialize in glass may not take the extra care to be able to package something, and you might want to consider that when you're placing your orders. So let me adjust the camera so you can see the table and see what we got to open. Okay, so hopefully this will give you a good view. Maybe not of me, but at least of the box, and let's see what happens. So I'm going to start, you know what? No. I'm going to start with the high-risk package first. So, again, this is an eBay purchase. If you watched, I did a video. I never actually posted it up onto YouTube. I did a video that ended up on Instagram. It was literally a live unboxing because that package also was rattling around. And it was interesting in the sense that that item that I ordered was supposed to be this item, but the seller sent me the wrong item and then claimed she did not have the item that I ordered. So that became a whole thing, but that was also packed very poorly. It did survive, but it wasn't what I ordered. This is the replacement. So this one, cutting that open. So you can see inside there is a decent amount, give credit where credit is due. There's a decent amount of paper, pressed into this from trying to shickle it back and forth. It appears that the jiggling may have been more up and down, because jiggling it this way, it's not shifting all that much. So they did, package it the way it should be packaged, apparently, inside. So let me see how the paper is lifted in here. So we've got, so we had one piece that was wadded into one corner. How did I know that? There was another piece wadded into the opposite corner. So, again, A for effort. And then in the middle is the actual item that I purchased. So this one, the paper is not taped onto it, which isn't necessarily horrible. Just, for improvements, it's sometimes nice to tape the paper down, because then as things shift around, as that is wont to do, you don't have to run the risk of the paper starting to pull away or unroll or unfurl itself, because if that's the only padding, you're giving it. It was not the only padding, so it is a nice paper wrap around a bubble wrap. And the bubble wrap is a 12-inch by 24-inch piece of bubble wrap. So it's not a huge piece, so it did circle multiple times. Nice touch. Got a little thank you sticker that they attached to the outside of the item, which appears to be wrapped. Looks like it's just like a plastic baggie. Not a Ziploc, just like a plastic bag. So tear that open. And here we go. It is the Bashful Charlotte that I was trying to get into my collection because of all of the deco female figures I have in my Flower Frogs. I did not have a Bashful Charlotte, and as I compared, I actually put out a video that misidentified one of my glass figures, and so I wanted to make sure I had representation. So this one she's in the crouched position, similar to the September Morn, but September Morn has kind of drapery wrapped around her back and around her arms. This one you can see she's crouched, but she's also holding her arms up across her chest and one down across her midsection. So she is truly bashful, and we will name her Charlotte. So great condition, exactly as described, and it survived the trip. So at the end of the day, you could say, well, it survived, so what are you complaining about? I'm not complaining. It did survive. I'm grateful that it survived, and it's a beautiful piece. It was a very good price. I was very happy with what it was being sold for, and it will look great in my collection. Kind of my point of doing this is it's kind of almost, it's fine by luck. And you shouldn't count on luck when you're shipping anything, particularly when you're shipping something that's fragile. So it did survive, so no, can't complain. But let's compare all of what we just saw here to what we're going to see in the package O Tim. All right, so this one, again, I kind of talked about before. It rocks because that's how much padding has been put even onto the bottom. A lot of people forget to pad the bottom. They put something in and then they pack out all around it and then they put a bunch of padding on top and they don't think, well, hey, you know what? There's only one little piece of cardboard on the bottom, so you need to pack all around. I can tell already he did that. I will also highlight, and maybe it's partially out of necessity because it is bulging, but this is also taped all the way along the long edge. That's not even something I typically do when I send out mine. Now, admittedly, mine don't bulge this much. I feel mine are well padded, But this is probably a little extra precaution because you've got pressure being applied against this piece of tape. So he has done the extra work to go ahead and tape it down on the edges. So it's a little bit more for me to cut into, but I know what I'm going to open up is going to be in perfect condition. All right, so we're opening this up. Right off the bat, you got paper flinging itself out at me because it was so well pressured in there. So you've got loose paper on the top. You also have loose paper wedged into the edges. And with the exception of the second to last piece that I just took out, all of those appear to have been placed after these were already placed into the middle because they were easy to slide out. The one was also, this got tucked up over it. But again, so it was primarily, its purpose was to pad around the edges. So mission accomplished. So we've got bubble package number 1. And this is a lot bigger than I thought it was. Bubble package number 2. And before I set it onto the floor, I'll just show, so that was, I don't remember where that fell out of, but I wanted to show that there's also significant paper down at the bottom as well. So again, this was very well padded on all sides, ensuring that when it got to me, it was going to be in pristine condition. So that's the box. Now we've got the packages. So I'm going to open the one that I know about first. So this is one, as I mentioned, he does live sales on Monday nights. I joined him in I was in the chat for one of the live sales, and this piece came up and I wanted to get it for my collection. So now he has done a really nice, kind of like an industrial 1/2-inch bubble wrap. I've not even seen a source for bubble wrap like that. It's kind of, it alternates. So that's a really nice quality bubble wrap. And then what he does is he then package tapes across it. I'm not necessarily going to take mark points off, but that is a pet peeve of mine because it's clear bubble wrap with clear tape. I have to figure out where it's taped, and I really don't want to have to play a game with something that's going to break. So, there are edges here. That one actually came up pretty easily, but now I'm kind of stuck, but I at least can see where some of the tape is. And this is such high quality packaging, I want to be able to reuse as much of this as possible. And because I'm cutting off the tape, I'm probably going to lose some of the bubbles from these pieces, but that's all I can do. Okay, success. Well, maybe not. All right, am I being punked? What did you do, Tim? Okay, I've never actually even seen this. So when he did the first layer of bubble wrap, he actually taped the bubble wrap onto the inner bubble wrap of the item. So this puppy ain't going anywhere. All right, I got the outer layer package undone. I think I'm winded. All right, now we're doing the next one. So this is the, what is this, 3/16 bubble wrap. This is the standard bubble wrap size. So it looks like at least one layer of that surrounding this. And we've got to the inner lining. The way I normally do this, so I'm assuming I'm going to do the same thing. I kind of fast forward the boring part as I'm undoing it. But if you probably have noticed, it did still take me a while to undo that. That again is the only downside. This is for all resellers. Everyone's got their own system, but when I do these videos, that was hard to actually open up. And because I'm now at the layer of the item, and if you look, because I used the box cutter, I actually cut into the paper layer, which is right where this piece of porcelain is. I'm assuming it's gonna be fine because I can tell just from holding it, I was on the back side. But if you make it too hard to open, you actually run the risk of damage happening as you're opening it. Food for thought. But we are now at the inner layer, the inner sanctum. Great piece of very high quality newsprint, 30-pound weight. And what I have is an absolutely fabulous Stouffer's China. I'm not even sure what this is. Fruit bowl. I'm not sure what this would technically be considered. He announced it was Stouffer Studio. He also, I don't remember if he must have announced it. I don't remember hearing it though, but Stouffer's what caught my attention because the label on this is both RS Prussia and then also, the light's a little bit too bright. Hopefully in the shadow you can see it also says Stouffer. Stouffer is a Chicago-based decorator. They also did porcelain making as well, but what they did was similar to Picard, and both companies shared designers back and forth and painters. They would embellish blanks received from other manufacturers. So this was an RS Prussia blank shipped to the United States as a pure piece of white porcelain that then went into the Stouffer Studios. So also got the Stouffer Studio mark and decorated this gorgeous piece. So it's got that high gold. It's not the weeping gold. That's a very different look from this. This is much older. This is probably 1905, 1915. I'll have to relook at that maker's mark, but great looking piece. I've got some Picard China pieces. I first heard about Stouffer in the Picard book, and I have one other piece of Stouffer, and so I wanted to have this to go along with that. So great addition to my collection. And then I have the bigger one. Now, the bigger one, I know what it is, but this is just one of those cases as a reseller that also does YouTube videos or YouTube sales. I encourage you, if you're ever purchasing from a reseller that has a live sale on YouTube, if they also have an Etsy or an eBay shop, go shopping. Go onto their Etsy or eBay shop, because what I did was I found this item. He was going to be shipping this, which I knew was going to end up being over a pound by itself, so we weren't talking about first-class mail. And I just said, hey, can I add this in? And by adding this in, it didn't really change the overall shipping cost all that much. And he was perfectly happy to do it. Make the most of your shipping dollars, and shipping more than one item helps break up those costs. And so this is what added. Now, admittedly, this is far larger than I remembered the listing being on Etsy. But hey, I'm sure it's still gonna be beautiful. So once again, trying to find the path to Mordor here. It's like he's leaving a little trail. I've got one piece of tape kind of sticking up here. So I lift that up. Thanks, Tim. That is weeping gold. So this one is Holly Ross? Sauce? Pross? So it was a name that was not familiar to me, but it was a piece that in the process of building up a new display cabinet, which is gold and glass, and it's going to showcase some of the colored glass that's in my collection, I wanted to have a handful of the Picard style gold pieces. And so this one I thought looked pretty snazzy on his site. It's got the clear glaze in the middle, so it's just like a Picard piece, but it has a very different approach to the gold metallic on it. It's much more uniform as opposed to what a lot of the weeping gold is, a lot more amorphic. I just thought this was kind of an attractive piece. It's about twice the size of what I thought it was, which just means that Tim was giving an even better price on this than I thought. But it's a beautiful piece. It arrived in perfect condition. And at some point, I'll probably do a haul video or a haul video / showcase video once that display unit is done. But for now, this was about unboxing, and this is in perfect condition. So that's it. Again, this was just designed to be a little bit of an unboxing video, kind of compare and contrast some unboxing styles. For all the jokes that I threw in there about Tim overdoing it unpackaging, I would much rather be it overpackaged than underpackaged. So the fact that Tim does not add any costs for packing materials, shipping and handling, I mean shipping of course, the handling charge, yet he has all of this shipping material in it, and all of it looked pristine other than the newspaper, which was just for the extra layer. Everything else is fresh from the roll. And I will just say that's an approach that I also use, so I can also comment on how expensive that can be. So there was quite a bit of material used particularly for both of those items in his box. Not discounting the shipper of the Bashful Charlotte. It arrived in perfect condition, also using pristine newsprint material. Maybe just not enough of it. But a nice little touch with also a little thank you sticker. You know, that was kind of nice. So anyway, at no point is this to shame anyone. I'm not going to call out the shipper because I feel that the shipper did what they were supposed to do, but they didn't go above and beyond. What Tim did is above and beyond. It's fantastic packing skills and packing materials, and I absolutely love both of the pieces that I received and can't wait to have them as part of my permanent collection. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you've gotten this far and you're not a subscriber, really would appreciate you going ahead and subscribing. Set up those notifications because I do pop on a couple times a week, either with live sales, deep dives, where I'm interviewing people to do with their collections or specialists in reselling. Tim, hopefully, will be one of my deep dive interviews on Pyrex because, again, he is an expert in all things glass and porcelain. And hopefully I'll have him on at some point, and you can find those on my channel. Also, if you give the channel a thumbs up, share it with your friends, whatever you might do, all of those little things do help YouTube recognize that this is a video worth sharing to other people, and it helps my video get a little bit more legs. So thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Well, show me a sign if you're wishing me to stay. Otherwise, I say goodbye and finish out the day. That sunrise in the morning and you got nothing to say. Oh, that's when I'll be headed on my way.